Alright guys, I'm back, and today I'm going to be doing a kind of an introduction guide. Just kind of my impressions on playing the Artificer class, which was released a couple of months ago. So I'm on my Artificer. He's level 8. I've played him for a while, but I actually haven't been playing my Artificer for too long without taking short breaks. So I'm gonna just be doing Delaris Part 2, just running through the quest, commenting on a couple of spells abilities, just general my impressions of, how the Artificer functions and, kind of how they work and, kind of how to play a low-level Artificer in a way, I guess. But more or less just, my kind of opinion on an Artificer. So I'm gonna step in. I've actually got my second account here, just so I can get all the optionals. So, a couple of things that I've noticed when playing an Artificer is that they are indeed quite powerful, but in my opinion, they are still not as powerful as a caster, and they lack that kind of AOE nuke type ability, like Fireball and such. They do get Flame Turret, which is, I guess in a way it's a substitute, but it really isn't quite the same. It doesn't really have that, you can't really cast it and kill everything around. So as you can see, I'll put up my flame turret, and it will kill things, but it's not the same as something like Fireball. And everything that's left behind, you can use your crossbow to kill without any difficulties. Flame turret is, in a way, it's the new Fireball. I'm sorry, not Fireball, the new Firewall. I guess an advantage, it doesn't have a save, but then again, it's kind of a hit and miss spell, sometimes you can gather up a bunch of things and it still takes 5 to 10 seconds or so for it to actually kill everything. And when you're playing a caster, you could just, see all these guys here, one Fireball, and they would be dead. They're still powerful. I'm not making the claim that they're not powerful, because they are indeed very powerful. It's just that they don't have that same quality that you get when playing a caster. At least I think so. I mean, other people may disagree with what I'm saying, and that's fine. Of course, I myself am a caster person, and it seems to be in between, a mix between a melee and a caster. They've got the advantages of a melee, and they've got the advantages of a caster, some advantages of the caster, but then they've got disadvantages to both. So it looks like I forgot one of the levers. So, flame turret on normal, it's doing pretty well, it hits everything, but again, it takes a few seconds. It is, indeed a very powerful spell. I wouldn't say that. The lower levels, I think for an Artificer, the lower levels were a bit trickier. I would say that they were difficult, they just took a little bit longer, because you don't have that nuke spell that really, that really kills everything around. Like, for caster, you have Burning Hands, and, at least you could kind of just gather everything up, cast 1 or 2 Burning Hands, and it's dead. Whereas an Artificer, you kind of have to use your crossbow to kill everything individually, and it takes a bit of time. But once you hit level 5 or 6, then you get Flame Turret, and everything changes. And of course, you become a lot more powerful. Elite quests become a lot easier. It's kind of a game-changing spell. It's really powerful when you first get it. You're doing 80 damage in a matter of, you're doing just a ton of AoE fire damage. Whereas before, you were hitting everything individually with your crossbow. I actually don't have my dog summoned either. I don't know why. Guess I'll summon it a little later. But yeah, I think an Artificer is a really good starting class, as long as you don't mess up your introduction stats. Or your beginning stats, like intelligence and stuff. You don't want to, it's kind of difficult. Even I had a little difficulty trying to figure out where to put my points, trying to figure out what an Artificer actually needs. and what they don't need, and where to maximize everything. It's a little bit tricky. It's not quite like a warp ward sorcerer where you just maximize your charisma, maximize your constitution, and that's pretty much all you need to know. Artificers have a lot of feats, and you kind of have to plan out your character, which takes a while. And it's not 100% new player friendly. I could see where a lot of newer players would make mistakes when making an artificer. So I'm going through this quest, pretty slowly. Um, and I guess I could be running the quest a bit quicker, but I'm just trying to kind of show, crossbows, they're good. They're good single target, and I am convinced that crossbows can do insane single target damage at the higher levels. I'm actually gonna bring over my sorcerer to do the optionals. Over here. Yeah, but this is my highest level artificer, so I really don't know what they're going to be like the later levels. I'm kind of excited to see how Blade Barrier works. I think that's going to add a lot of power to the artificer, especially when soloing. Essentially, Blade Barrier is one of those spells where you have Blade Barrier and you can pretty much solo anything. Untyped damage is just so powerful because it's untyped, so everything takes untyped damage, whereas fire damage, half the end game or more, half of high level content is just immune to fire damage. So, I mean, I think that an artificer, if planned correctly, could be an extremely powerful character. Um, it's just a little bit different from the one-click nuke everything approach that you get with a caster. I'm also trying to figure out rune arms. Right now I'm kind of not using rune arms. They really aren't powerful low level. I haven't been too impressed with rune arms at low level. They don't really do too much damage, and they slow your movement speed, and they kind of are annoying. But I definitely will be using rune arms, once they get a little better. I hear that the Hand of Tombs is one of the first really good rune arms, and that's available actually at level 8 or 9, I don't quite know, but you have to do Wizard King or buy it. They show up in the auction house at times. So I'm actually trying to record in 720p, and it looks like it's lagging out my computer quite a bit. Let me try adjusting some of the settings, although I don't think that's really going to help. Yeah, I'm pretty much at low settings for everything. Low, medium. Although it kind of looks bad if you put that to low. Everything's really choppy. So I think for the duration I'm gonna have to go back to streaming 480, sorry, at least until I get a better computer, which hopefully will be soon. I do like the Artificer spells. I think they're pretty unique. The weapon augmentations and everything. I think they're really cool spells, and I definitely think that bringing an Artificer to your party is really quite helpful. So I don't know where my dog is. I think I still forgot to summon it. Um, so that's the thing. I haven't been too impressed with the Hound so far. I mean, it's got good tanking capabilities, but it just doesn't seem to do too much. I mean, when you compare it to the power of the spell like Flame Turret, it just... Your dog, you know, attacks a couple of things, does some damage, it can tank, but besides that, it really can't do too much. At least during the lower levels, you know, I haven't been too impressed. It's kind of always wandering off in weird directions and doesn't break too many boxes, not nearly as quickly as you can break boxes. Um, so generally, if I forget to summon my dog, then I don't even really remember. Um, and he seems to die a lot too. I don't know why. Maybe I'm doing something wrong with the dog, but I am not too impressed with the dog. I could see how it's useful for a lower level player and a new player. You know, for someone starting out in the game, I could see how it would be useful to have a companion, you know, like a tank companion or permanent hireling, I guess you could say. But when you're kind of a Zerger, it just, in a way, it slows you down because it drags enemies off in the direction so that they're not near your flame turret, and it just, I don't know, it seems to be kind of annoying. And there seems to be some bugs, higher level content, that prevent you from getting loot. And yeah, I don't pay too much attention to my dog. Maybe I will at the higher levels when it's better, hopefully, but for now, I'm not too impressed. But if you haven't made an Artificer, I definitely, you know, suggest that you at least try it. You know, you may not level it all the way to 20. I probably will level it to 20 and gear it just so I can see how they are at soloing quests. Um, you know, I guess it's interesting, it's unique, it's kind of different from all the other classes. It's not really a melee, it's not really a caster, it's not a divine, it's kind of a mix between everything. Yeah, I am getting quite a bit of lag, which kind of sucks. I really wish I could have streamed 720. Let me try lowering the quality, although I don't think that's gonna help. Very low. And low. That's about all I can do. Oh man, look at how bad the game looks now. Looks awful. And it's still laggy. Getting close to the end of the quest, which is good. I don't really like this quest anymore. But if you disagree with some of the things that I've kind of mentioned about Artificers, just let me know and kind of correct me. I've kind of just gone over, the general points, but I could be doing something wrong. Maybe they are more powerful than I am suggesting that they are now. Prove me wrong. Just let me know how they are at level 20 if you have a level 20 Artificer, or let me know how you can solo quicker or whatnot. Because right now they're good, but they're no caster class. I don't know. I'll be TRing soon, and this quest is quite a bit different when you're TRing on a sorcerer, just nuking everything. Just gather it up, one fireball, everything's dead, move on. I probably could have done this quest 2 or 3 times in the time that it's taken me now. And one reason it's slow, well, there's multiple reasons why this quest is being run pretty slowly. One is I can't really focus and kind of explain something as broad as an Artificer, and 2, the lag is really bad. I mean, if you can see, it's really choppy, and the game looks bad with the low quality everything. Looks like I'm almost... Oh man, look at how bad that shrine looks in low quality. You can't even see the icons. That's horrible. Wow. I have my stupid level 1 hireling still following me. Good thing it didn't die. And now, of course, I've got the final room with the boss. One of the things that I am a little bit surprised with Artificers is that elite quests, these low-level quests, don't seem to be much more difficult than normal. And I think that's just the power of the spells and kind of the utility level that they have. It makes them really good for running elite quests. They're not too squishy, and they've got kind of the right power to take down single target things that have a lot of health and a lot of power. And it seems like they don't get hurt as much because, of course, they're using ranged attacks and whatnot. Just getting the last optional here for some EXP. Kill the last guy in this room, and got all the bonuses. So I really haven't zerged through this quest, which is kind of unusual. I usually zerg through every quest that I can, but here I kind of took my time. 17 minutes, that's over twice as long as it usually takes, I would say. But it was pretty good EXP, 8,000, 10,000, 13,000 EXP, so not bad, especially for first life, non-TR, just casually going through a quest. So I'll definitely be running that some more, even though I don't really like the quest anymore. But yeah, that's kind of been my first look at Artificers, just my general review on Artificers, kind of their utility and where they stand in comparison to me playing casters. And like I said, if you have any comments, suggestions, any advice or disagreements, just let me know. I haven't been playing Artificers for long, and I still have a lot to learn. So thanks again for watching, and I'll be back later with another video.